go. Okay. Go live on here. So there's like 10 steps, you know? It's a 10
20.
step. It's a 10-step
It's a
program.
10-step program. Too soon.
We're live, so just,
Too soon.
there it is.
There it is. Good to know.
Oh, did we do this last week where I did high card for intro? I did that to Greg. I put him on right on the spot.
No.
High card for intro. If you get
That
the
one's
high
yours?
card, if you get the high card, does that mean you intro?
Yes.
Okay. So that was it?
That was it.
So I'm introing.
See?
I'm introing.
It's
Okay.
meant to be, bro. I'd love it to go another way, but it's...
Yeah, no, that's okay. We got it. Two out of three. Let's give her a go.
Normally I jump in today. I'm spent.
Derek's stacking the deck.
My brain isn't done. My deck is gone.
This is the Okayest Hunter podcast.
My deck is gone.
Never pass on shooter bucks, because that's just meat in the freezer. It's your tag, you hunt how you want. This is Okayest Hunter.
Welcome to the show.
Hey there. Howdy.
I don't feel like doing this tonight. We should just close it up and hang out.
We're going to be on for about 10 minutes. We'll run through the sponsors and we're going to shut her down.
We're done.
We're going to shut her down.
I'm not feeling it today.
We don't have anything good that anyone wants to hear anyway.
Yeah, we certainly don't. I feel like there was some things, but we're brought to you by Nosler. If you don't feel like shooting, it's okay. Nosler's got your back. Because I don't know how that can come together, but I feel like there's something here that my brain's too slow to pick up on.
If you don't feel like missing, buy Nosler.
Yeah. If you don't feel like missing and you're lazy because you don't want to track a deer really far, you probably want some Nosler in your life.
But I think it summed it up when we were doing a practice shot in the Fork and Chicken video when we were out in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, hey, we got to make sure that the rifles are on before we go out and do any more hunting, because I had maybe dropped mine once on the mountain on camera. And
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
So we shot, and I guess Nosler would be about the same, man. They're just too accurate because it just removes that excuse that you can use. They're like, I must have been a bad shell. The scope was off. Damn twig. Like, I shot and I hit that box right in the middle, and Dylan was like, well, it's you. If you miss, it's on you.
You're like, oh, there goes all my excuses. Yeah, I when I shot the whitetail country, I had expressed like this is the most. Everyone says like your rifle will perform different with different rounds or like brands and so forth. And for whatever it's worth, like sincerely and truly, my rifle seems to have favored or favors whitetail country Nosler ammunition. I've not had that level of consistency over time at the range shooting little like inside of $50, as 100 yards. It's not like
that's good.
That's
shooting,
as much as I've shoot in the deer
shooting.
woods here in the Midwest in Wisconsin. So, and I've shot lots of other ammo. I shoot 165 grain out of my Remington 700 bolt action with my Nikon Monarch scope, which Nikon doesn't make scopes anymore. Nonetheless, right on. Maybe we should be talking a little bit more, but yeah, and it was great. So I'm really happy with it. And I talked about their merch last week. It's all good stuff. Check it out. OHB for discount codes over there at checkout. Save you some money. And yeah, other partners. I keep talking about Gerber and how we got to do this customization thing, and I continue to do a poor job of communicating out to the folks that need to communicate out to because life Gerber, is crazy. Yeah,
to get it going.
So, but you can go do that apart from us, anyways. I am working on having conversations to do some sort of kit and caboodle giveaway. We're going to do several giveaways of bear archery bows. But we're going to try to do one big giveaway with all of our partners.
Sweet.
So like Quick Trip gift cards for gas, Nosler, Swag ammunition, silencer cans.
It's the kit
Gerber,
and caboodle giveaway.
I want
the whole 9 yards.
That'll probably be July. Maybe I don't know that it's going to be a 4th of July thing, but I'm thinking along the lines of July is like the time when you start to check in
Christmas in July.
quite a bit. Yeah.
Velvet Fest. That's
Yeah, well,
like people are
that's-
thinking deer stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm always thinking deer stuff. I was
I know.
walking before I came in here today.
That's probably good for you today.
I needed an hour just to get out inside. Dude, I drove here with the radio off. That's where I was at today. I literally had the radio. My brain just needed a moment of zero frequency.
Yeah, that's good. That's good for you.
But yeah, July would
Crazy.
be a good month because then we don't want it too close to our Foam Fest because Foam
Yeah.
Fest we always do some good.
There's a
You know,
whole
there's
other
always
thing there.
awesome prizes. So
Yep. Anyway, and I want to find, and I just have not thought all the way through it. So I'm going to need some help from our partners and like all the creative minds that exist in their marketing teams to collaborate on like how we engage y'all, our listeners, in a meaningful way that like is fun and not just the run of the mill, like follow us on Instagram and like this.
take 58
I don't
friends.
care. Yeah, I'm like, that's not the point of it. That we're not trying to gain social followers. We're trying to like engage with y'all, and if there's a way that we can do that better. So anyway, keep that in mind as I play with a Gerber knife and trying to cut my finger open.
You know it's coming.
It probably is. I like this. This one's great because it's like super light and it has a stop right here where like I don't know what it is about when they hit these little breaks. I like
You like that?
playing with you know how often I just have a knife in my pocket or a multi-tool and I just love like this one. I just go like this all day long.
This
You hear that
composite.
click?
Oh yeah, that's nice.
I don't know what it is. I'll just sit there all day.
This is the adult fidgets.
That's
if
what it is.
if
Yeah,
you
it's
haven't gotten adult fidget yet, Gerber makes some really nice adult fidgets.
they're really sharp fidgets. But
not
they're great.
appropriate for all locations, but most.
This one I like because you can do this.
Ooh,
It's the one where you can kind of whip it out.
you love whipping it
I
out.
love whipping it out. Wapow!
Who got a deer?
Just having people on accident. I mean, you could try to whip it out and you'll see what I mean. Like it's not smooth enough
Oh.
where you got to really use your whole. Oh, you did it. Look at that.
I'm no
So-
stranger to whipping it out.
Then you
Sorry.
got the sheaths,
I am.
and I'm like, ooh, the sheath's kind of tricky because if you don't get in there just right, but once it does, it's got that click. You hear that? That's how you know it's in.
I actually like that hard sheath for my pack. I keep that one in my like scouting backpack.
Okay.
I just run like one of the little lanyards through it, and then I always know where it is, and then I know that it's not like slipping out,
Not slipping out.
whipping out.
I'm whipping
This
it out.
one's
It's
whipping.
slipping out.
That one's slipping.
Gerber having all the fun today. Yeah. Latitude has a huge sale going on right now. We've talked about this before, but I just, if you're subscribed, go subscribe to their email. Subscribe to everyone's emails. You're going to get deals all the time, but our discount code is active, though it's going to be dwarfed by the sale that they have going on right now for their Method 2s and everything else. So be sure to check that out. Quick Trip, and I'll get through all this shit. Sorry, because I know I take a lot of time up in the beginning, but they have the Quick Trip to the ballpark going on. So you need the Quick Trip app on your phone for the reward system. But if you do, every dollar you spend at Quick Trip, when you have your rewards card, when they ask you, get it, swipe it, whip it out, swipe it, and you'll earn every point for every dollar you spend before taxes with Quick Rewards. And once you earn 200 points, you can redeem your points for a Brewers ticket.
Really?
So it's kind of like, you're spending money there anyways. You're obviously probably gassing up there. You're going in every time because you're like, ooh, what am I going to buy? What am I going to buy? Cool, I'm going to go in there because I don't even know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to get something.
You're
And
not gonna not get a Kona dark roast coffee with a donut. Like I can't go in there without getting those two things together.
like, we stopped there right before we went up north, and I'm like, all right, kids, I'm going into Quick Trip. Who wants stuff? And it's like I'm just walking with a grocery bag full of crap for a road trip and swiping that rewards. Let's get that Brewers ticket. If you're closer to Minnesota, it also works for Twins. So that's a new add-on this year. So check that out if you haven't already. If you're not already doing that stuff, it's kind of cool. I think, short of Rack Hub, that's everybody. And we all hopefully understand what Rack Hub is. I was just at my buddy Dave's house up in Glenwood City. He's got this beautiful, like, high ceilings with this fireplace going all the way up, and there's 2 empty spots on either side. I'm like, what's with the empty spots? Because he's got some great mounts. Mounts are in the basement. Basement's not finished yet. And I'm like, what's up with that? He's like, well, his wife was like, well, you can't hang a deer then unless it's a 180. That's what he tells me. And then I bring it up to her in the kitchen with him there. I'm like, so what's the deal? He's got to get a 180. She's like, no, it's a 190. I was like, oh, it's changed.
190.
I was like, you better be careful, Dave. Before you know it's be 200. I said, why don't you just go find some sheds and you can get Rack Hub, and then you don't have to worry about it. And that might be a winning way to hang up antlers. So we've talked about this plenty of times. It is cool. It is unique. There's a lot of other companies out there doing this stuff now, but I think Rack Hub is the only one that has it where they can display like moose paddles and elk antlers
Well, and
that can support that kind of weight.
and shed antlers and the Euro mounts, like the skulls, are awesome for hanging by fireplaces because obviously fireplaces you're dealing with constant heat. And
That's a good
like
point.
those can mess up, your hide on a mountain and whatnot. So I
Yep.
don't know that I'd ever hang like a real nice mount above a fire, but
Mhm.
I'd hang an antler or a skull. Like the bone's gonna dry out a little bit, but like
Yeah.
it'd be better than what
That's a
your mount's gonna look like after
valid point.
5 years on top of your
Yeah.
your fireplace that's roaring.
Well, I told Holly at some point, like this podcast studio can't, I mean, short of putting them on the other side here, which I guess I could do. But like I want 2 deer on either side of my fireplace upstairs, which is not a functional fireplace because it costs like $8,000 to fix. So we just don't use it.
You just put like
I
one of
put a
those little
fake one,
well,
yeah.
yeah.
It shoots out heat. It's great. So anyway, we got all that stuff going on. Topic today, turkey.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty open-ended. The phone lines are open.
Wisconsin
So-
just had their youth season this past. Well, is it still going? I don't know. Does the youth run just for the weekend, or is it like a Wednesday through Tuesday,
You're
like
asking the
all
wrong
the
guy.
other ones?
It might just be the weekend.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't remember how that works.
Well, so I was up north in Glenwood City, and our friends have kids in very similar ages as our kids. They have 4, we have 3, but their 3 are same age brackets as our 3 mostly. And he's like, "Well, we were gonna come up on Friday or Saturday. We weren't decided." He's like, "Come up Friday night so you can go turkey hunting on Saturday morning." He's like, "I'm gonna bring my daughter. She's the same age as your daughter. Like, let's bring the girls out first thing in the morning." So
Heck
we did
yeah.
that. So we brought
What time did you guys get up?
like 5:30.
Were the kids up and at 'em, or was
They were
it a
super
struggle?
tired. Like mine was super tired, Logan, and I was like, "Let's go." We're going I mean, she's excited about it. So like
Cool.
she got herself up, brushed her teeth, got the stuff. We went in, walked all the way to the blind, and got in there. And he's like, "You guys even say hi to each other yet?" Like they became best friends throughout the week, and it was great. But the first like moment was kind of awkward because they're both like, "Shut up, Dad," to both of us. Like it's awkward.
They're at that age where it's
Yeah.
like, Dad, stop making it weird for us.
Yeah, that's what was happening. They eventually like got bored and were like, "Can we go back to the house now?" And so they did. But there were turkeys gobbling all around us.
Well, that's fun.
It was awesome. And they were so flocked up that there's no way we're calling a tom away from that. A lone hen did break away and end up right by us. One of their barn cats though, like followed us all the way to the blind. And eventually, like, I think the turkey was kind of purring at or putting at the cat.
The cat was purring.
Yeah, right. They're both
They're
purring.
purring at each other.
But we were kind of like, "Ooh, this could be promising because we just have a live decoy just broke from the flock. Like, there should be some toms following her. They never followed her." So that was kind of it for that morning. Then we brought our boys out. They're similar in age. Saw nothing. Boys were like very excited and therefore high energy and very antsy. Yeah, it's
The
like
blind
Jesus,
are
guys,
rocking,
sit
yeah,
still. They're like
shaking.
farting in the blind. They're laughing. It was pretty great, honestly. Like it was a good time. We then picked a different spot, and his boy Bo had a 410 with a red dot on top, and dropped a tom.
Heck yeah. You
There-
just
2 came into the decoys. It was pretty interesting because you could hear them gobbling. So we picked the spot based on where they were. We kind of slipped in, got the blind set up, jumped in there, set the decoys in, and did a little bit of calling. And then we heard something like, I think it could be a squirrel, but I'm pretty sure those are turkeys because that's too consistent to not, it's not hopping. And sure enough, all of a sudden 2 toms emerge, and he almost didn't get them. Like he couldn't like, he was shaking. He was freaking out.
did he have like a rest? Did you guys
Yeah,
have like
we had a
little rest
tripod, a
for him?
little gun
Okay, yeah.
tripod or whatever.
Yep.
And so all he had to do is point and shoot, and he was sitting on his dad's lap, and like all of a sudden the turkeys started to lose interest. They're like, "This is sketchy. We're gonna get out of here." A couple little more soft calls, and they're like, "Well, maybe those chicks are interested in us." So they turn back around, and then he's like, boom, right in the face, dropped it right where it sat, and
That-
it was like, he's like, we're like, "You did it!" It was pretty cool.
And he's little. I
This was
mean,
his first turkey. He was
little
4,
guy.
4 years old, and he
When-
did it on his own. Like, 'cause Dave was pretty adamant. Like, I can't help you. This is your hunt. It's a youth hunt. Like, I can't pull the trigger for you. People are gonna say I shot the turkey. Like, so he didn't. It was
the
pretty
photo
cool.
was cool because you sent the photo, I think, not long
Yeah.
after you guys shot it. And I mean, 4 is little. That turkey was as long as he was. Like that was a
was a
good
pretty big
sized
tom.
tom. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was 20, somewhere between, I think 22 and 24 pound turkey. I mean, that's, I think,
Hell yeah.
pretty large.
Yeah, it's a great sized bird.
And then his daughter went out the next morning. He asked if we want to go, and Logan's like, meh. And I was like, meh. So we didn't. And I was like, look, she didn't get one yesterday. Like, just go get it done. They got it done. So
Yeah.
it worked out pretty good.
So they both got him opening weekend.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
I mean, really, it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Only one tick on Logan embedded,
Really?
so like it wasn't terrible.
It was in?
We got home. Well, actually, I think it has separate. I walked to the park with the kids the other day, and I was like, let's take this shortcut through the woods, and we kicked up a turkey just right by my house here.
Really?
And I was like, a turkey in the house, because now they're all excited about
Well, you
turkeys.
usually have turkeys.
Yeah, they're all around.
strutting around through
Yeah.
the yard here.
So went to the church playground, and there's a turkey on the way there. But then we got home, and I had to do all the baths. And I was like, oh shit, there's a tick in your back. Just panicking. I was like, we've been down this road before. It's no big deal. We got the tick tornado.
I don't know what that is.
It's called the tick tornado. It's like this little, tiny thing that has like a slit, and you just simply kind of put the head of you slide the tornado slit under the tick, and eventually it gets to this point like a V, and you just twist this thing over and over and over and over and over, and then the tick's just out, and you don't have to worry about the head getting stuck. If you
Eh?
just spin it around, it just comes right out. So it's called the tick tornado. So it's the easiest way that I found to get rid of a tick out without having to worry
About
getting the
anything,
tweezers or a lighter or any of that weird shit. So it's a pretty neat little device.
We've had a few come in on the cats.
Oh,
Food ticks.
yeah, I gotta be checking our cat.
So
George.
we gotta start putting the tick
Yeah.
repellent medicine shit and putting that out, because they've had a few come in already. We had a couple warm days here, and I'm sure if it ever warms up again, I didn't see any on me today, but
if it
I'm
ever
sure
warms up, yeah, you might have some money. You don't even
I
know it.
probably do. Probably do.
I've heard too many like bad stories of people getting ticks and like now they can't eat red meat and all that jazz.
That's no joke.
It's not good. Anyway, so yeah, the turkeys. I have a greater appreciation. I'm slowly getting more into it. It's certainly not at the scale or magnitude of whitetail, but I really enjoyed it. And what I enjoyed most is like being in a blind was pretty cool. I've never hunted that way before. And having your kids with you in a blind is a great way to have your kids with you, because you can get away with a lot more
Oh
shenanigans with them.
gosh, it's amazing.
Like the movement thing with the boys, and like that blind we were in was see-through, or you could see through all sides except for one. So you had a full range of view, almost 180 degrees of viewing, and I was like, this is kind of cool. It's a little bit
It's-
warmer. It's like,
It's such a great way to get the kids involved, because you can look at a book or have snacks and not have to worry about
mhm.
moving at the wrong time or the turkey sneaking up behind you. Like, you just got your own little sanctuary there that you can kind of hang out and the kids can do what they want.
Yeah.
And then when game time comes, they're going to be able to see it. They're going to be able to watch it. And it's a really good way to do it.
I thought it was awesome. And I was like, up until that point, to me, it was very much like when you learn to hunt a deer or a turkey, it's almost always best to have someone show you, like for your first time or two, to like, here's what you look for. Here's how you do this. If you're going to like all the stuff. Same thing when I got my first turkey. Matt and Greg were right there with me to show me this is what you do. I was like a child because I had literally never done it before. I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, I actually have no concept what to do with a bird. And you would think it wouldn't be that complicated, because I've carved up, Thanksgiving turkeys before. I understand the anatomy to a small degree, but I was just like, oh, what do you do?
Looks a little different than your Thanksgiving
Yeah,
turkey when it's sitting there with feathers on it.
When you
and
start taking the
jelly
feathers off,
head.
I'm like, this looks like what I see. Okay, this is starting to be familiar. But having my buddy show me how he hunts with his kids was helpful for me to be like, oh, well, wait, I'm gonna go buy a freaking blind. They can come with me every time, to a degree, which is what I want. And he's a big trophy. Well, like I wouldn't say trophy hunter, but like the dude knows how to kill some mature bucks. He understands land management. He's piecing big things together, much like you are. Like I would put him in a classification of you as a killer. Dude knows what he's doing. None of that shit matters. He's like, this is all about the kids. He's like, I can go 10 years without killing a deer. I won't care as long as they're doing it. And
Hell yeah.
bringing him up for turkey hunting is like this really great way to like introduce him to hunting, because it's not, the stakes aren't as high with a turkey. It's approachable. It doesn't have the weight of, we talked about in the past when Anthony Heller was here about like the weight of killing a deer, how it feels much
Yeah.
different. Like It's got big freaking eyeballs. It's a big animal. There's a little bit more going on there. It's got fur. It's
There's
like
more gravity to that situation than there is with the turkey.
Yeah.
And then like not downplaying the turkey, but for a kid who's like maybe not, maybe popped a few chipmunks or here
Yep.
or there, a turkey is a great stepping stone to
Yeah.
like make that more common, that feeling, that the whole process.
So I was like, what an unlock for me as a dad. I don't know. I'm like, maybe I brought my kids hunting, but I'm kind of like, we're not actually hunting. You're just along to experience what it is to be hunting. But there's no question in my mind that they were going to get anything.
Yeah.
With this, I was like, dude, a 4-year-old just shot a turkey with holy shit just happened. It's nailed right in the head.
That
So-
video is so cool.
It was pretty neat. So anyway, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about.
No,
now.
that's a nice segue into like just getting your kids out there and bringing them with. I think even though the earlier in the year, especially like youth seasons before obviously any of our normal seasons, and the
Mhm.
earlier it is, the more flocked up they are. So I do think that like mornings are less effective unless you can just be in a spot waiting where they're
They're
going to
gonna
move
come-
through because the
yes,
flocks are
that
predictable.
was the
But if you're bringing a kid and you want them to get excited about it, hearing the turkeys in a flock light up on the roost like and gobble, like that's
was cool.
something they'll probably never forget. You
we
know,
were
what?
on
It's
our way
like just
down and you
getting
could hear
light-
him popping up. I was like, yes.
Like that's so. I remember being a kid and hearing that for the first time, just being like,
they're here. There's a chance.
"There's
Like
dinosaurs in the trees."
it was really something. All that gobbling. It's like because when one pops up, you're probably hearing like 4 at a time.
I remember the first time. I think this was the first time I ever went turkey hunting. My dad got a tag, and we were hunting just west of Green Bay, northwest of Green Bay, and we went out on some public land. And I don't think we scouted it. I think we had just like driven by and seen a private field like on our way up north that had turkeys in it once in a while. And we just like there's public like a couple hundred yards away. And we like went out in the morning, just walked this logging trail way back, and then like it was getting light. My dad's like probably didn't even know what the hell he's doing, just making weird noises on it. But all of a sudden, like there was like 4 of them, and we're like, we're right in the middle of a turkey cyclone. Like we were like, quick, where are we gonna sit? Like we were so excited. This is the first time we'd ever done it, so we just sat down right there and like sat there for 3 hours. Nothing ever came, but we were like, oh my god,
You were like, this
first
is it.
one, this
We're on-
is so easy.
Yeah.
But just because they gobble doesn't mean they're coming.
Yeah. Well, Matt Strime, who's going to be on the show at the end of this month, I think. I forget what the date is that I have him scheduled for, but I'm sure others have said this, but I heard it from him and it was on this show at some point where he's like, it's unnatural. It's against nature to like try to call a tom toward you. They're meant to gobble with all their big feathers to bring the hens to them. So like, that's where the calling stuff made sense to me because your point in the morning, at least from this one experience, and I've had only a handful of others, like 3 experiences. It's like, yeah, they're not coming to you in the morning. It wasn't going to happen. We had a good idea of where they were going to come down. They worked their way through this area the night before, the morning before, because he had like scouted this a little bit.
Yep.
But the afternoon when he's like, look, we call, they might not gobble. Suddenly they're just going to be like, they're just going to show up and there's going to be a freaking turkey there. Like, and that's exactly how it happened. It was crazy.
So they didn't gobble at all in the afternoon.
No, well, we heard him in general, just because we were just out on because his house is on the property, but they didn't gobble at all when they were coming in to the calling. So, and our calling wasn't great. Like, no offense, Dave, if you're listening, it wasn't great, and neither was mine. I was using the slate call and he was using the mouth call, and so we were taking turns.
Yeah, I mean, are you really an amateur hunter if you're not throwing out a few weird ones every now and then? You're like, oh, this is going good. It throws you.
And it
for
was
a
windy
loop.
over the weekend, so you kind of had to be pretty loud with it to cut through some of the wind. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, and all throughout the season, if toms are with hens, like 10 o'clock seems to be the magic time where like they've gotten a little bit bored of being with the group. What do you got here?
I'm sorry, Paul Campbell. The stakes aren't as high.
The what?
Paul Campbell's like, the stakes aren't as high. Like he's
stakes
yelling
aren't-
at
oh,
me because
The stakes are a little high.
Paul hosts
Paul.
the Turkey Season podcast. Paul,
Sorry,
you should
Paul.
call in because I titled this episode something that I think I learned from you, which is, and by the way, the Turkey Season podcast is the #1 podcast on the network right now. Likely not just because it's turkey season, but also because Paul is doing an amazing job with that show. So like, kudos to you. Go check out that podcast if you want to really listen about turkeys. But it was almost the national bird of America. Did you know this?
Not until you told me that Paul told you.
Because Benjamin Franklin said the eagle is kind of an asshole. He's like, yeah, it's a scavenger. It's kind of a dick.
But the turkey
is resourceful and like has more tenants that represent. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, the eagle's fucking badass. So like, it looks like it, commands more of a presence than a turkey. So like, almost probably isn't even like appropriate to say. It was just more of like a letter from Ben Franklin to everyone else saying like, I think it should be the turkey.
So what did you title the episode?
I titled it Almost America's National Bird. And I think that's actually because of Paul and his podcast, I'm getting more interested in hunting. Like, it's actually fascinating that this bird has been here this damn long, and it's kind of a neat animal. So why I love deer hunting so much is because I have so much like reverence for the whitetail or respect or like, I don't know, interest. And I had not had any of that with the turkey. So I just went and hunted. It'd be like if I went to Africa and shot some freaking, I don't know, horned animal. I don't know what it is. Like, I wouldn't have any connection to it.
So
it's
much
less about it being like, what did Paul say? The stakes not being as high. It's also like my connection to the animal isn't as strong, and that's growing.
The start of the connection with any of these things, hunting, fishing, blah, 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 is really important too, on like what your initial thought or like it creates your own bias. So like if you grow up seeing turkeys like running through your neighborhood and like pecking people's bumpers because they see the reflection, like it's not going to be as high stakes as something that you regard as like a wily old mature buck. Like in your mind, it's like this wild creature, but like, you know what I mean? If it's, I remember seeing our first turkeys on the way up north. Like we had heard that there were turkeys around, and we were driving down a highway by like Pulaski, and all of a sudden my dad is like, holy shit, I think I just saw a turkey. And we like slammed the brakes on, pulled over. We have like 3 pictures on a throwaway film camera that we took that you can't even see. But there was like 2 turkeys running through the woods.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh my God, it's a turkey. And like, that's where like initially I was just like, man, that would be super cool one day to be able to like hunt those things because they were rare. And then we like started hunting up north, and it was really cool. But then I kind of went through a period where with like what you did almost, but you've never had the super deep like want to hunt them.
Yep.
I hunted them a lot with my dad early on and had a lot of good success. And then I just completely lost interest in it for probably like 7 or 8 years. I didn't even go. I didn't get a tag. Just like, I was like, turkey's a turkey. They all look the same. Not that interesting. And then I don't know what happened, but one year I was like, oh, maybe I'll get a turkey tag again. And then I just started messing around with it, and now I really enjoy it again.
What I also enjoy is just the being in the woods in spring. It's different than fall.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm not a big fan of spring because it's, like teases you like, oh, it's going to be nice out. No, it's not. It's going to be back down to 20. Hey, it's going to be nice out, but I'm going to give you like days of rain with like puddles of mud everywhere.
It's going to be 65 in the morning, and then it's going to hail in the afternoon.
And then you throw in allergies and mosquitoes and ticks. I'm like, man, I don't know. Like,
I'll take spring over summer.
Golf looks pretty interesting.
Summer sucks in Wisconsin.
But being out that early, as someone who works at quite literal, like a 9 to 5 is like I work a knowledge, job or whatever. It's like, it's not, I don't have to be to work. I'm working early and then get the kids on bus, and I clock back in, and it's like, start your day. But come turkey season, you could be out before the sun comes up. The sun comes up, the turkeys do what they do. You shoe one and you bag it, tag it, whatever, and you can get to work.
I think I've shot my last 6 before work.
And your work starts early.
I start early. I got to be in at 7 o'clock, 7:10.
Yeah, because it's not as like you shoot it. If you're shooting with a shotgun, you shoot it in the face, it drops dead. You're shooting a whitetail with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
God knows you might track it 300 yards and have to wait the next day. Like the whole like, hey honey, I'll be home, or I got one. Then it's like, oh boy.
Now
you drove all the way out, to help me that one night.
Our wives know that when someone got one, they're like, "Oh God, here goes a day."
It's not that straightforward.
He's gone for a day and a half.
I've heard someone tracking it. I mean, I think it probably could happen. Don't get me wrong, especially if you're bow hunting a turkey. Like you could probably track it for a little bit or something. But it's just so much less common.
Yeah,
at least anecdotally.
I've been super lucky. I've only killed 2 with my bow.
Okay,
both of them dropped. I don't know how.
You sold your bow last year, didn't you? I thought you got one
it
good bull
was. I
last
think it
year.
was 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yep, that one I had on camera. I filmed it, and that one just dropped, which was unbelievable. Like it just dead.
Did you have a GoPro by like the decoy? Was that you that did? Who did that? Someone in our group did a GoPro by the decoy,
I don't think that
which I thought was
me.
kind of cool.
I've done that, but I've never got one with the GoPro
Oh,
by the
because the
decoy.
GoPro was there. Yeah.
They saw the GoPro.
It's like Tyler Meaden. Did you hear what he did last year with deer hunting?
Something with the light. Yeah, what happened? Was it the light
Yeah,
thing?
like on the ground looking or something. He hit record and the red light came on. And like a light or
deer's
something.
just-
And you're like, the shit is this? I was like, you got to mess with all the settings ahead of time. You got to turn off all the noises.
Some people
the
like to learn the
front-facing
hard way.
camera, the light, all of that stuff. Yeah, you learn real quick when you do it wrong once. You're like, all right, well, I'm gonna YouTube that. But no, so Paul, if you can call in, do it. If not, all good. I understand. It's 6:35 on a Tuesday night. People got shit going on.
What season is your tag?
I didn't buy one. yet.
Hey,
Well, usually I just do the leftover stuff, and then I just get all these people that seem to be excited and enthused to bring me hunting.
did you get a leftover one?
I intend to here. I could probably do it right now while I sit here on this podcast.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. They might already be gone.
They might be gone, but we're traveling that weekend,
Yeah.
so I'm kind of like, if I buy one, then I'll feel like I need to do both things. That's never a good outcome, because then Holly's like, "What the hell are you doing to me?"
Yeah.
So just
Little
might not be-
marital stress.
Yeah. I don't need to overdo that, because I do enough of that in whitetail season.
Yeah.
But I was really happy to get out with the kids. Like I could let them shoot turkeys and never give a shit myself. I think there's
I think that'll
so much
probably
in
be
that.
the
That
road
was been
you
my real
go.
ticket. Like
Yeah.
that was a big deal. And now I feel like a jackass that I didn't even know that there was I barely knew it was youth season. And so I was like, what turkeys in season? Like what do you mean? You're going tomorrow morning?
I think next year.
We
year.
could maybe try to do something together.
That would be
or-
really fun.
you
I
know
think
what
it'd
mean?
be super fun. And like Bo and his son Croy, he had asked his son.
Did he get one?
No, because he asked Croy. He said, "Yeah, it's youth turkey. Like we can go turkey hunting tomorrow." Or, he like wasn't that enthused. And Bo was like, "Or we can go shed hunting." And he was like, "Oh, I want to go shed hunting." So I don't know if you saw the clip Bo posted on Ghost Bucks, but there's this super cute clip of Croy, his son, who's what, six,
Okay.
and you can see Croy's about 20 yards away, and there's a 4-point shed laying between Bo and Croy. Bo's got the camera, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, why don't you come up this way?"
Oh,
And
cool.
Croy comes walking across, trips on it, and never sees it. And then he walks up, and he looks up, and you can tell Bo's just looking at him. And he smiles. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Go back over that way." Oh, there it is. So he didn't go turkey hunting, but I thought it'd be really fun to get a couple guys with kids.
We could set up a couple different spots.
Be super fun.
Because then the kids can have their
Turkey
own
camp.
camaraderie among themselves. And I think that's a part that I thought was kind of neat about this past weekend. Like, I can take my kids hunting, and that's all good. They have each other. But there's other kids their age, their own peers doing this stuff too. Like, you're kind of building that deer camp, turkey camp camaraderie from the ground up.
Heck yeah. And that could turn
That's
into
really
a
cool,
really, really
you know?
cool tradition that they
Yep.
carry on, you
Yep.
know.
Our kids don't get to play too often. We live not too close to each other, though not also too far. We do have some get-togethers here and there, but
We haven't done it in a while, which we need to.
yeah. But it'd be cool to be like, oh, Logan's like, hey, Gus, turkey camp was the thing I remember the most about us growing up, or something like that. That could be something real that actually comes
yeah.
into shape. And it's like, we didn't see each other too much, but we did see each other turkey hunting all the time.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
We
it's
should
kinda neat.
definitely do that.
Paul in the comments said, thanks for the love, fellas. Happy to be part of the network. Derek, I had the same 6 to 7 year old sabbatical. 6 to 7 year sabbatical of deer hunting.
See?
Took one big deer to reignite that fire. Great work. All right.
Oh, that's
Michael
good, Paul.
John. Oh, hey, Durka.
That's a buddy of mine.
All right.
College buddy.
Good.
You gotta get him turkey hunting. He's never been turkey hunting. I
Never
don't
been.
think.
See, I'm not the only one that's new to this whole thing.
Yeah, you gotta get Mike and Maverick, bring them out. When Maverick gets a few more years on him, we'll do kid turkey camp.
So I'm gonna probably go buy some shotguns.
I got one on order. I got a 20 gauge.
I need one, and apparently a 410 is a good way to go for youth.
410 is awesome. The
It
shells
did the
are
job.
pricey.
It was $7 per shell.
Yeah, he got the
But he
TSS.
shot. Yeah.
Well, he
Shot
made it count.
2 shots, 2 dead birds. That was it. It's all it took, which was wild. I mean, yeah,
That's
you
cool.
put the one thing in there. Pow, that was good to go.
That was a good shotty, man.
Yeah. I was surprised. Like, wow. So then I didn't realize. I was like, how's he gonna aim this thing? Was that good? That whatever red dot. That seemed like also a good thing for a kid to have, because it's put the dot on the head of the bird and pull the trigger, and that was it.
Yeah, I tried a red dot and I hated it personally. Like
I don't know if I would like it or not, but I thought it made sense for a kid. 'Cause it's like
Yeah.
something very
Yeah.
like there's nothing to line up. It was
Mhm.
like you look through this and you get that red dot on your view and you put it where it needs to go. He had it all sighted in. They practiced with it and stuff, so it
Sweet,
seemed like it made sense.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then Dane had a little like shotgun toy that he brought, and the kid that shot the bird with the real gun just wanted the toy gun. I was like, but you just shot
The
the bird
irony.
with the real gun, but like, okay. Dane's like, hey, he took my gun again, Dad. I was like, look, you're sharing. Your gun's really cool.
Like, use
It does
big
go
one.
like it's pretty legit.
The 410 didn't go chick
No, it
chick.
did not. So he's like, I like that one shoots, but the effect of this one's pretty cool.
I made sure I got a pump. So I think I mentioned it on the show before, but I invested in the kids this spring and ordered 2 guns, both
Okay.
for
What'd you get? What brand?
I
I'm
got
I'm
a
just curious.
Savage.
Savage makes
Yep.
great stuff, right?
Yep, good stuff. That's your everyday Fleet Farm,
Yeah.
carries them. And through Ghost Bucks, through Bo and his dad,
Mhm.
they've worked with Savage for a number of years. So he had just bought a 350 Legend this last year
Mhm.
and used it for Illinois shotgun, and he shot a beautiful buck. That video is up on the YouTube channel on Ghost Bucks. But loved the gun, so I was like, you know what? I'm getting one that could be used. Both the kids could use that. It's good for other states.
What's the caliber?
It's a 350 Legend, which is this right here.
Oh, okay.
So this is a straight walled cartridge. You can see
So
how
you
it
can
doesn't
put this in the
taper.
shotgun?
No, but you can
Sorry.
shoot a straight walled cartridge in some states during their shotgun season because it's not tapered, right? So like any of these other bullets, they neck down,
Mhm, like
the bullet taper. So
yeah.
you can, the powder is like providing you more of a punch basically.
Mhm.
Because it tapers down like that.
Yep.
So that's considered a straight wall cartridge. So you don't get the velocity.
'Kay.
It's not as fast, not quite as powerful, but for a youth gun, not much kick
Mhm.
and still very lethal for
'Kay.
like 150 yards for sure. Like good gun.
Yeah.
So I got one of those I ordered. Gus got to pick out a whole bunch of stuff on it. So he ordered one of those and I ordered a 20 gauge also.
Oh, fantastic.
Pump action 20
Yeah.
gauge. It's black, but
Yeah.
we already
That's good
talked about
20
we're gonna
gauge.
paint it. We're gonna do a little art project,
Oh,
paint
okay.
that sucker up.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Could
That's
use
a
that
good
for
way
ducks.
to get them more excited about it along the way too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think the most versatile gun is for a kid that like if you I guess shotgun is very unique because you can do like slugs and bird
Yeah.
shot. So like you get I killed my first deer with a shotgun slug.
I've never shot a slug in my life.
I mean, it had some serious kick. It was
Yeah, I bet it did. Those things
it was
are
a
that's a
12
lot of
gauge, and it was like as a high schooler. I was like maybe 150 pounds soaking wet as a high schooler. So like I was like, man, I feel like I just got punched on the shoulder really hard a whole bunch of times. I'm kind of like not wanting to do this anymore. It's like, jeez. I think I bought a
Ow.
rubber like thing for the buttstock. My
Oh,
dad's
yeah.
like, really? I'm like, yeah, man. Like, I'm not embarrassed about this. Jesus. I mean, you have more meat on your bone. I'm like this little scrawny kid.
Oh,
And because I didn't expect it. That was the first time I ever shot a gun. He brought me some range and they're like, shoot. And I was like, okay, let's go. What the fuck was that all about? Like, no one told me that was going to happen.
the second shot, you're like,
Yeah. Now I'm flinching the trigger. Now I got target panic. Damn it.
that's how it happens,
Just
right there.
Right there, but yeah, so then I shot that's how I shot my first deer. And then obviously, I shot trap with that gun and I could take a duck hunting. So that's pretty cool. But a 12 gauge isn't great for a 4 or 5-year-old.
No,
So like, are you 20 gauges good? What was it? The Savage, what was it that you got?
I got a 350 Legend. But
350 Legend.
That's like it's like a rifle.
'Kay.
So not
It's like a rifle.
Yeah.
Is it like a 22?
bigger than a 22.
Bigger than
22
a
bullets,
22,
like-
but like in terms of like it's like not that big of a deal to shoot one of those guns, right?
Yeah, it's like way less than it's less than a 30-30.
'Kay.
But bigger than
See,
a
that's why we
22.
need Tubbs here because like we're two guys that don't know much about guns,
Yeah.
more guns, or we got to get Jared from the Powder Horn podcast
He
to
could-
weigh in.
He would have some really clever way to explain that whole
Yeah,
situation.
he's a quick-witted son of a gun.
Speaking of hurting your arm, my mom's got a fun story because
Oh,
my mom is a turkey hunter also.
'kay.
And when I used to live up in Peshigo, there's some really good state land all along the Peshigo River,
Mhm.
and there's lots of turkeys there. I used to love turkey hunting there. Always saw and heard birds. They actually roost right out over the river,
Mhm.
and they would gobble up and down the river because
Hmm.
their sound would carry. So in the morning, you could hear them from like a mile away
That's
because
so
like
cool.
their gobble would carry. It was kind of fun. But my parents were came up and were hunting my mom's season one day, and I was doing school. I think I was coaching soccer at the time, so I think we had practice. So I wasn't getting out till like pretty late, but I was like, I'll come meet you guys. Let me know if there's birds. I don't want to like come in and bust the birds up, but they showed me where they were. And like this huge thunderstorm is rolling in. And I get out of the car and I'm like putting on my camo and I can hear it thundering. I'm like, well, geez, like, does it even pay for me to go out there? Like, I'm sure they're going to be coming in. This huge thunderstorm's coming in, like, looks dark. It looks terrible. But I can hear turkeys gobbling. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just like sit and listen for a little bit. And all of a sudden I hear turkeys gobbling more, and they're gobbling at the lightning, basically like shock gobbling. Like, so it's thundering and then they gobble. I was like, oh, this is really cool. I hope my parents are hearing this, and then all of a sudden I hear boom, gunshot, boom, another gunshot, boom, a third gunshot. I'm like, what the heck? Oh my gosh. So I go running out there. And my mom got one. She was sitting in this weird spot, and there was like this big ditch, and the turkeys all came on the backside where she didn't think they were going to be. And she had like rested the gun like lower on her arm, like when she was waiting, and then they just showed up. She never pulled the gun back up like into her shoulder. So the first shot, it was like against her bicep, and then she like readjusted because she missed. Shot again. She was all flustered, missed again. And then the third shot, she hit it. But she's like, oh my God, my arm hurts so bad. The turkey's laying there. And my dad had her practice using 3-inch turkey shot, but he put 3.5-inch in because she might need that extra bang. I'm not going to tell her though. So she did like 3 shots with the 3.5-inch. And mom is like, 130 pounds, 120 pounds, little lady. And her whole arm turned like, it looked like a rainbow, like in 4 days.
It's like yellow and stuff.
Yellow and green and red. So I was getting her like Mother's Day gifts. She had a Pandora bracelet, and I found this one that had like rainbow colors. And I was like, this is in memory of your turkey arm. So she still has that on her Pandora bracelet. It's got all the different colors on
That's pretty clever.
Of her bruised up 3.5-inch.
That's like something your son Gus would do. Like, you guys are pretty clever. Like,
I don't know if it's clever.
I don't know. It's pretty clever.
Mom liked it.
That's cool. Jeez. Yeah. No, if you don't know it can kick, it can freaking kick.
Oh yeah.
How many guys you see with like bloody, eye sockets because they got scoped? Having my dad once, he's bleeding and he's like, oh, it's too close. I was like, Jesus, you look terrible. Like, what the I've seen people that I'm like, not a chance I'm getting my anywhere near this fucking thing. Like, I'm overthinking the shit out of that one. I can learn from other people's mistakes just fine.
Yeah.
Like,
that's not one you need to
I'm happy to learn from your mistake. I'll make plenty of my own, but geez, there's certain ones that I'm like, fuck that.
That in particular is becoming a tradition with my good buddy Adam, AP. The last, I think, 2 or 3 seasons, he sent a picture of like the deer that he got opening morning, and then he sends a selfie, and it's just blood running down his forehead.
Dude, I think he's
done it like 3 times.
Jesus.
It's like, but maybe you should just move your scope up. Like, it's a mount, just loosen it, resight it. But I don't know, man. That's right.
Like, how is it kicking that bad? I don't know. It's crazy. I love shooting my rifle, man. I enjoy it. I like it. It's like your bow. It's therapeutic almost. There's just something about putting stuff in the crosshairs. We should pick a day and get Greg and just go shoot. We got to put a day on the calendar. That's the only way that's going to work. We got to just pick and choose. And we're not going to get everybody, but we can get most people, that would be ideal. Like, if we can get everyone, great. I know that things then won't happen because we can't get someone.
Yeah.
And then nothing happens.
Yeah.
So like, I still think the time we had everyone here to cook was awesome.
That was super fun.
That worked out pretty well. I mean, granted, there's like a reason for it, and we had a videographer, so it's kind of like, hey, he's here. Trying to have to reach out to Jace. He asked me a question. I had not responded to him because I was up north, and I was like, I'm like so over phones right now. It felt so good to just not care. It was awesome.
Heck yeah.
I was like not posting shit. I was like, Tyler can handle it. I'm not doing a damn thing this weekend.
Good for you.
It was nice. I could use more of that in my life. But Tony Cordero commented, 350 Legend shoots a 35 caliber bullet with a recoil similar to a 243 Winchester.
Which is pretty. 243 is pretty small.
Okay. We need to probably have Jared on this show to walk us through, at least me, some basic understanding, because I don't remember things. The last time I learned about this shit was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just, you don't use it, you lose it. I had learned all of these things and I don't remember them any longer.
I hadn't learned any of these things. I just learned this is a 30-06. This is what you deer hunt with.
Oh, we got Noah on the line.
Hey, it's been a while. I was actually
Yeah.
thinking about Noah the other day.
Hold on, let me get the volume up here so we can hear him. And oops, 1 second here.
Noah came to whip it out.
Oh boy. Hey, Noah, are you there?
Yeah, hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing? Thanks for calling in.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
You
Good
got,
to hear from you,
you got
dude.
some birds on your property out there, or how's everything looking for season?
Yeah, I've had a few. Problem with the property up north there is that they're very unpredictable when it comes to the turkey.
It's almost like they're
Um,
wild. Stupid
Yeah.
birds.
Bastards.
Well, tell us
I mean,
more.
I've heard of there's some spots where, like, you know, I know talking with other people, like turkeys are very much creatures of habit, and you can like dial them down to the minute of where they're going to walk out sometimes. But very much not the case up in my property. Sometimes I've had one walk around 2 o'clock for a couple days. No, I haven't seen him for like 2 weeks.
I know they have a pecking order, and I know that like if a Jake dies or if a Tom dies, the Jakes will come and ghetto stomp it. I've seen that stuff. What's confusing to me, this is a question for both of you or anybody listening in the comments, or if someone else wants to call in. I always like to ask things I don't know. When we called in the birds that the 4-year-old shot this last weekend, 2 Toms came together. When I shot the bird that I shot 2 years ago, 3 Toms came together. Are these things not territorial? Like, why are the males all together? Like, I think of deer and it's like not a chance. You're gonna see bucks together in peak breeding season. What's with these turkeys?
It's because they have a pecking order.
So they understand who is dominant.
Yeah.
But they're all right.
you
I
know
know
what I
you're
mean?
in charge, but I'm with you. But they're subordinate.
And bucks are not. If the little forker can sneak that doe away for 15 minutes, he's going to do it. More of an opportunist.
All right. There's maybe a pecking order, but they're not like they can't control their their urges as well.
And there's something to that because I don't know if we learned that from Paul or who we learned that to, but
Some can't even
that
breed.
biological
Yeah.
pecking order thing too, where the hen, even if bred by a lesser bird,
She will reject
can't like get fertilized or whatever.
Or she'll
however
choose to
that
not.
works. I could be
Or
speaking,
some sort of you're right. I remember that.
but there was something to that where like
Yeah.
the pecking order was like
If it wasn't the dominant bird,
yep,
she could reject the semen
yep.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
whatever bird stuff is called.
It's probably the same thing. Anyway, so I just thought that was fascinating. I wanted to explore that topic a little bit. But
So Noah, is it that the birds aren't coming out like at the consistent time, or are they like moving off the property for like large periods of time?
Yeah, I think they're moving. I'm not exactly sure if they're roosting. Like sometimes it seems like they'll have a roost tree nearby, especially in the fall. Like I will see them on a consistent basis. So I don't know if they have a couple different roost trees that they're picking out, or what's up with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the fact that
Yeah, I
you
know
can
as
just
far
go
as-
and listen, like Derek's time, where you can just kind of hear them to some degree.
Well, that's what's kind of nice with it. Like, yeah, turkeys can be very consistent and come out at the right time, like every day, and you can set up for that. But that's like the boringest way to hunt a turkey is like to sit there and wait, because that's like what you do
can't
for
treat it
deer.
like deer, right?
But it's tough with like Noah saying like the birds, which they do, especially early in the season when they're flocked up, they may move off your property for a week or 2. Well,
Mhm.
that's tough because then you can't hunt them. But like if they're just not showing up consistently, but they're around, well, shit, that's fun because then you got to hunt them. Like not just wait for them, but you got to
can
go
make
hunt
your
them.
move.
Yeah, you got to
which
hunt
is
them.
what we did on Saturday with the boys.
Yeah.
Like we set up here and
That's
it
the
didn't
fun.
work,
Yeah.
and we made some adjustments, and then it worked. But we did it off of like we could hear them, and it was like they're here. We can hear them. Let's go make this move.
And that's one of the games you play with turkeys too, is like so many times you want to hear them, right? So, but like you don't want to call necessarily just to hear them gobble, because if you're not in a good spot to set up and they start coming to you, like that's like a whole other game. That's why like people.
I've heard they're good at pinpointing where sounds are like that.
Yeah, they're fantastic at it.
It's interesting that they can like drop a pin in their brain. Like
I got
that's
a
where that
story.
sound came from.
I got a story I'll tell after Noah does his bit, because I don't want to take up all Noah's time. But I'll tell you a story about how freaking good they are at finding that exact
alright.
location.
So Noah, what season do you have?
I actually do have the first season,
Ooh,
so I'll be
alright.
going up this weekend.
Cool.
Cool, man. So maybe next week on Tuesday we
Yeah.
hear that you got a bird.
Maybe if they haven't been there for the
Oh,
last
hopefully.
week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe they'll move back into your area soon. Hopefully.
That's what I'm hoping. It just snowed up there today.
Oh shit! Really? Jeez.
This spring's been crazy.
Yeah. Did you
But-
guys get that big ice storm?
Yeah, we did. It actually took down a few big trees on my property too.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Did you have that open?
Up at the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents
Hmm.
didn't have power for, I think, 5 days.
What would they do with all the meat?
Put it in coolers.
Okay.
Ice and coolers. And it was cold out.
Yeah, it works.
So that was
There's
okay.
snow or ice.
Yeah. They just threw it on the ground because it was freaking ice. No. Well, hey,
Yeah,
man.
we'll see if I can get it done this year.
Well, have fun, man. Like
This is my second year, third year turkey hunting seriously, and I don't know what it is about those turkeys, but they're so dumb. They're smart, you know.
Yeah, that's the whole trick, right? My theory is that turkeys are jerks because they can be so dumb that they're so easy that it lures you into thinking, oh man, I can do this. And then the next time they just mess with you over and over and over and make you feel like the biggest idiot in the planet.
I've heard their eyesight is incredible for motion and camouflage, and being in that blind
Yeah.
and seeing these two toms just try to breed a decoy. Deer, I'm not seeing a deer do that. If I'm right there, but I do enjoy. You don't have to worry about scent.
Yeah.
Like it's there's
There's
just some
that.
things that don't line up as a 1-to-1, and that's kind of maybe there's some excitement around it. But when you say they're dumb, I picture that happening. I'm like, yeah, they're pretty freaking stupid. I'm right there. Like, how do they not get it? Like a deer would know there's someone in this blind.
Well, Noah, you know the drill. If you get out there in the morning and you don't hear a single thing, like the turkeys are not in your area, up by Tomahawk, that area. I mean, there's enough public ground around. Just go drive around, look for some oak hardwoods, call in the midday. That can be a good time to pull them off their hens anyway. So you never know. Maybe you find an opportunity to whack a public land bird.
Yep, that's kind of the plan. I do like, as much as I like kind of sitting there like I'm a turkey deer hunting. You know, I also have found a love of running and gunning on them too.
Heck yeah.
Wear some comfortable shoes if you're running, not getting blisters. That's one of my recommendations after last year when I didn't realize we were going to be running and gunning.
You were literally running.
Literally running. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, thanks for the call, buddy. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, good luck to you this weekend.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
You bet.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah, you do.
So what's the story you have?
Yeah, so I actually feel bad about this to this day, but
Jeez.
back when I was in Peshtigo, had 2 friends, both teachers. My friends Matt and Maggie. Matt had come up and gone turkey hunting with me and got one, his first bird. We got it up in Peshtigo on the public, had a blast, super fun. So we went out and we're gonna try to get Maggie, his girlfriend at the time, now wife. We're gonna try to get her a bird. So we had tried some different spots. Had some action, couldn't get some shots, some things went on. So midday, we went looking around for a new bird. I went and set up in this one spot. I had seen a bunch of scratching and turkey sign. And we sit up on this little ridge close to the river, and it's like a big lowland swamp down below us. And I call into that swamp, and we hear a bird fire off, gobble at us. We're like, okay, perfect. So we get set up. There's a little bit of snow, like half an inch of snow. We get set up, tucked into these pines, and we called for probably like an hour. And that bird just didn't seem to move. It just was gobbling from the same spot over and over and over. And I was like, well,
He's
frick,
like, you're coming to me.
frick this. I'm like, let's go get him.
Mhm.
Like he wants us to come. Let's go. So we jump in the car, drive around to the other side. I was like, I know how to get around
I
there.
think I heard this story.
And then we ended up going through that swamp to get after him. And it was like freaking horrible. Like it was wet, mucky, nasty, super thick. Maggie's like pulling, I'm like, give me that gun. She says, she's like, we're all like sweating our butts off by the time we get up there. And
You're just working so hard to make no movement whatsoever.
we're
Yeah.
trying to get close to this bird. And so I think we're close. So I rip the call, and that son of a bitch gobbles from sounds like where we just were. Like
He just took his time.
I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So we're like, well, we've gone this far. We might as well keep going. So we go up, we freaking cut his track in the snow. He keeps gobbling. That sucker walked right to where my ass print in the snow was.
Oh my
His
God.
track walked right over where I was calling from. He walked right over my butt print in the snow. So you
Weird.
talk about a pin?
Yeah.
He walked
He
to
knew
the
that's where it
freaking
is.
tree.
As I've heard, like,
And we
they're-
weren't there because I got impatient and I ended up
So
dragging
he's
her
thinking, where's this chick?
through a mile
She's
of
playing
hell.
hard to get. She
Yes.
ran off on me.
If we would have just sat and shut up, he would have came right
That's
to
tough
us.
though. Like, because they don't gobble when they're en route.
Not
They're-
always.
Yeah, right. Like they're trying to.
Turkeys are jerks.
Yeah.
Turkeys
So
are
all this
jerks.
talk has got me wanting to go, and I probably won't be able to go unless I find someone. I mean, maybe I'll just go and like film someone or something. I'm not a cameraman per se, but I'd be happy to like
Yeah.
hold
that'd
a
be fun.
camera for someone if I go with Heller or Vinny or something like
Yeah.
you or Derek. Something like let
Heck
me
yeah.
just go. I would think it'd be kind of fun to just be along.
That would be fun.
And I just so you're still out there. You're still. I got excited for the 4-year-old to shoot. Like I was like, oh shit, this is getting me. Like, So I would probably have that same sense that you always get when you're hunting. And I've heard this with camera guys too. Like they'll get the shakes, and you see some of the guys that have been with us, like
Oh,
the
for
camera's like shaking and trembling because like, man, I was right there with you. Like, holy shit, like the suspense kind of hangs for a minute,
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what I'll end up doing this season. It's a little bit more of that if I can, and Holly will probably let me go. Like, hey, I gotta help these guys out. I gotta film it for them,
Heck yeah.
And then it's for someone else. It's not for me. I'm just,
Hey,
I'm
I
not going
got-
hunting. I gotta, I'm the guy doing the stuff. I gotta help them out with their thing.
Doing a simple kindness for another.
Yeah, right. She's probably listening right now. Shut up, Eric.
I'm wondering if I'm going to have to make a choice here just with limited, weekends to go off and do something
Mhm.
we got the moose shed antler
When are you doing that?
camp. Well, we don't know if we're doing it for sure yet, but there's been a lot of chatter
Okay.
amongst the moose group. They just got like 8 inches of snow.
Oh,
It won't be anytime soon, but my turkey season's not till like
jeez,
May
that is
7th.
crazy.
So if I have to choose between going up to a moose shed camp or turkey hunting, I'm gonna go to moose shed camp for sure.
Mhm.
Turkeys.
Who do you go with?
Bo,
Yeah.
my buddy Brian, and my buddy Lane.
And you guys
who's the
go up to
music
like
teacher.
Ely, Minnesota, that area, or
Yeah, we go way up north and stay at our buddy Brian's place. He's got a camp up there.
okay?
And then we spend a lot of time driving around and then a lot of time walking.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
It's cool up there, though, right? Like it's
Oh, it's awesome.
picturesque. What I think of that area, just,
It's cool
just like those
because
skinny, shitty pine trees, and
even when I
vast.
lived in like northern Wisconsin, like it's even more pronounced now, but like it'll be like I'll have mowed the lawn
Mhm.
like once already, and you go up there and there's like still snow. Like it's like holy shit,
remember-
winter is still holding on.
we went to the Bunch Waters in July years ago now, which is sad because like time is flying by too quick. You jump in the water, it was ice bath water
It
temperature.
was chilly.
I was like, because it was like, whatever day it was like time to jump in the water and just get yourself cleaned up a little bit. And I was like, whoa, this is really cold. Jeez, what the hell's July? I'm like sweating balls here and I'm freezing this water.
Hey, that's another thing we're gonna have to start setting up
So-
as the kids get a little bit bigger. Is like Bo and his boys would probably love to go.
Oh,
I
God.
want to
I want to bring my
start.
kids so bad.
I want it to be a yearly tradition, and if
Well,
we can get
then
a
we
couple
should
groups
really
to
talk
do
about
it,
that.
like
Yeah.
I think that's like a really cool memory.
That would be amazing. It's a different world up there. It's pristine. It's beautiful. The loon echo is what I like. That's what gets me. And the stars, like you can see. I'm 100% certain I saw the Milky Way. Like
Oh yeah,
the way I want to do, the way I did it with the fellas when I went as a young dude, we just portage and set up camp. We had to tear down and set up every other day.
Yeah.
If I take the kids, I'd like to get maybe like a cabin or a main hub of a site and portage out on day trips and have that hub to come back to. So I'm not tearing down camp every 2 seconds with kids. That I think would be the way to do it. I don't know.
100%.
Yeah.
I think if you even just a portage like one lake in,
Yeah.
and like found a good campsite that
good
was like
core
sweet,
spot, right?
and then you set up camp for 3 nights or however long you want, and then you just go day trips, bring the snorkels, bring the fishing stuff.
yeah,
Kids would have a blast.
yeah. I mean, they could just keep themselves completely occupied on the campsite all day long.
Yes.
It's just there's so much.
So
cool
we got to
stuff to
start
see and
that
do.
too.
Yeah. I remember the light switch of mosquitoes. It was like a certain literal minute change went from like no bugs to all bugs. I was like, so if you weren't in the tent by this time, I was like, get in the tent, they're coming out. It's like zombies
Get
were
in
coming
the
out in like the movie I
tent.
Am Legend. It was like, oh my God, they're there and now they're here. And
You can hear them. What is
it's
that?
just crazy. It's crazy. They'll like
Oh,
fly
I
off with
can't.
you. It was
I
nuts.
just don't want to hear those suckers.
Yeah, I'll never forget my buddy Shane just laughing. We're like, get in the tent. There's like 3 of us, like, get in the tent. What are you doing? He's like, what? It's so funny. I'm like, there's like $100,000 on your back. He's like, I can't tell. I'm like, something's wrong with you. Like, he also likes Malort, so he's just that.
That says everything.
That's right. Like, maybe that's why they don't like
The
that's why they-
Malort, yeah, they're not gonna suck the Malort out of your
But
blood.
he didn't seem to care. He didn't care about the Malort. He didn't care about the mosquitoes. Shane, you're a freaking wildebeest. I tell you. Anyway, it's a good episode. Go listen to the Turkey Season podcast if you're not already. This is not even close to what that show is. Like,
I don't think that's a similar wavelength.
not at all. But there's a lot of cool learnings there. And if it's getting me fired up about like learning more about turkeys, I can't imagine what's doing people that actually already care about them or anybody else in that spectrum. Like there's a lot
Are
to
you
unpack
saying turkey hunters must be on the spectrum in order to like
there of turkey hunting. That's the spectrum I'm talking about. Yeah. So that's all I got today. Dates come up. So May 1st. Don't hold me to the first week of May. I'll give myself some grace here because God knows I will probably mess something up. We're going to announce Foam Fest for 2025. I'll tell you the date right now. It's going to be August 9th. So we
Sweet.
moved it earlier in the month. We were going to move it not that early, but then like some other events were already spoken for at the venue. So we have locked in the 9th at Hurricane Archers. So typically we've done it on like Labor Day weekend. That's not the case this year. And it'll be that Saturday, whatever that is. And there's going to be a lot of really cool things. So we're locking arms with BHA Wisconsin chapter. Alec
Whoop, whoop.
Beckers
Those
is
guys are
helping us
always
put that
awesome.
together. Yep. So, and then OK's Cook is likely going to join. I'm waiting for a full confirmation from Chris. If he does, BHA is going to help us get some venison, like some actual, like not venison, I shouldn't say venison, like a deer hindquarter or like some parts of an actual like deer from the DNR. And we're going to do some demonstrations on like,
Some
I don't know
processing?
what, processing, cooking. We're looking at doing some giveaways with like maybe Traeger or maybe Blackstone. And like the thing that I'm lobbying for is teaching how to do like get a perfect sear. So Chris is like, well, maybe we'll do some sous vide stuff and just start searing a bunch of steaks and showing people how that
Oh,
lurks.
damn it. We seared all these now. What are we going to do with them?
So just, we're not doing we're not doing a bunch of other seminars or anything. I just don't think there's enough room in a single day to like do all the stuff. So we're trying to be really like intentional about the itinerary because last year I remember we were waiting a little too long in between getting done shooting and announcing like the raffle stuff. So we're changing that up a little bit around like you need to be done shooting by this time. And if you're not, that's okay. But then just know like you're gonna miss out on some other stuff for raffle. And we're looking at doing a shootout, an elimination like Heller has done.
Yeah, that's fun. Let's do that.
So we want to do some other ways to not just raffle, but also like you can win prizes by doing certain things. So we're in the planning phase right now, and we're just ironing out some of those details and stay tuned on that. But when the event goes live, I think the price will be similar. We're also doing like Tyler's working on this part, but TBD on the number of people that respond first or book first or buy their tickets first. But maybe it's like, I'm making this up right now, but the first 20 get a t-shirt and a tumbler,
Wow.
stuff like that. But we have to cap it.
Yeah, of
Just
course.
economically, so that's what I want to like offer to the first.
that shoot is fun for everyone, but not a financial money.
Oh yeah, like we make $0. We usually actually go under on that thing, but what we do is we donate. So we have to cover our costs with the venue, make sure like all the food's covered.
It's a new venue this year, so it's pretty
Same
exciting.
place,
They've got a new
spot.
building. Yeah.
Yep. Same organization, different
spot.
literal location. But then we donate to Waukesha County Land Conservancy. So like we're really trying to give all this money back. All the prizes, like we're either paying for or getting or having some discount on. Like this event is about everybody coming together. This is not about us having some sort of revenue event.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about that. I care that everyone's coming together and having a good time. And so for year one was 20 people that attended. Year two was 40. Last year was 60. And by those stretches, we should have 80 people this year. I don't know.
Be awesome if we
I
did.
I don't care that it's not meant to be the biggest event. It's meant to be a casual, fun event for the people that do join. And fortunately, doing it at a location like a good venue, they have great targets, good course, the mosquito spraying, all that stuff is like taken care of. So it's less off our shoulders, it's more off our shoulders and less
Yeah.
on our shoulders for us to have to worry about. 'cause
So we
we'd
really
probably
just
do a
get to
bad job.
hang out and
Yeah.
talk to everyone and
Yeah.
look at gear and play with saddles.
Yeah, Latitude stuff is like, I think that's a highly coveted event for Latitude because that's when people. I've heard you guys talk about Latitude all the time. I finally can get into one of these
How
things.
many people have we and
year over year
Tubbs
over year, 3 years in a row, we
put
still
up
have
in
new people
saddles?
trying stuff up. you
Yeah,
know?
we'll have a bunch of different climbing sticks and stands, and of course the Latitude carbon sticks, and we'll have saddles you can shoot out of, you know. And well, I mean, we'll have to look at how it's laid out because it'll be different, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get eyes on the venue beforehand and all that stuff. So like, yeah, it'll be a good time. It's always a good time because we're all together, and that's what this is all about. It's about like we get to see some of the same people we see year over year, but there's new stories. And it's like, how did your season go? What did you hear? Did you go out west? Did you know, all that stuff is really fun to talk about with everybody. So I get pretty excited just seeing everyone start to flow into the parking lot. I'm like, wow, people show up. Like,
It's a blast. I have a lot of fun with it,
Yeah.
and it is family friendly. Hopefully, they've got some sort of playground at the new venue.
yeah,
But family friendly. Bring the kids, bring the wife. It'll
Mhm.
be a good time.
yeah, definitely. The kid thing is the other thing that's like super special. So that's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. And